questions are, short answer type questions. But I want to just give you the highlights of the test tomorrow. Anything? Okay, go to your packet for me. Here we go. Go to your packet. Again, you can take a look at that. It's up on Classroom. Don't need to copy it down. Let's talk about ways to review tomorrow. First, let's go to what page you got there. 37 for 27. Go to page 27 for me. I put a page together of all the theorems that we talked about. Okay, I put a page together for all the theorems. Again, you can't have this sheet tomorrow, but it is good while you're working on some of the proofs. Okay, flip the page over to page 28. You will see some proofs and some construction practice. On the top of page 28, you see some textbook questions. Everyone always disregards them because it's so convenient to work in the packet. Don't forget those textbook questions. They're pretty good too. Where are the answers to all these? Up on Classroom under homework answers. Okay. Did I put them under homework answers or did I make a separate tab for that? Let me just quick check so we're all good. No confusion. Unit test review answers. So it's a separate tab up here. Okay. So all these answers are up on Classroom under a separate tab. Here's the packet answers. And then you keep scrolling along. And I believe, yep, there are the book answers right there. All right. I do want to do one question with you before I let you go on your own. And that is question 6 out of the packet. So can you go there for me? Question 6. Actually, we're going to do one question here and a proof I want to do with you. So I'll give you a second, read through question 6, and then we'll talk. Talks about slopes. All right, so we're talking slopes and little help here. Bunch of numbers here I want to call on. Here we go, 7. This symbol here for? Perpendicular, good. And I see it's a slope question. So now you got to remember, what's the relationship between two lines that are perpendicular? What did we talk about their slopes? Two lines that are perpendicular. 3? Good term, Spence. Negative reciprocal. So watch. One slope, the QR, is negative 1 over 4. The other slope, ST, 8/3. But is this a correct statement setting them equal to each other? Absolutely not. It would be if I change this perpendicular sign to a what sign? Parallel. They would be equal to each other. All right? So Spence said negative reciprocal. So you got to take one of these fractions and perform the negative reciprocal on it. Don't know about you guys, but I think I'm going to do that on the 8/3. All right, so replace 8/3 with what? 1? Flip it. Remember what negative reciprocal means. Flip it and change its sign. So I'm now going to replace it with equal to negative 3/8. Everybody, why? If it was parallel, I set it equal to 8/3. Now how do we solve those? Cross multiply. Ready? 4 times negative 3 gives me negative 12 equals, what are you going to do with that 8 when I cross multiply it with x minus 1? Distribute it. Thank you. 8x minus 8. All right, take your algebra. Let your algebra skills take over, right? Add 8 to both sides. Divide both sides by 8. Yes, we get fractions in this class sometimes. It happens. negative 1/2. All good? So just wanted to remind you, there are some slope questions on there tomorrow. That was a big part of the second half of this unit. Slopes and parallel and perpendicular lines. Go back to number 1. Let's do a proof. Let's go to number 1. This might be a challenging one even for the best proof masters in here. What do perpendicular lines do? Okay, so we should be having some right angles on our diagram, right? Some of us here, where BF and AD meet and where CE and AD meet, we should have right angles. You see in the proof statement, number 1 and number 2, this is not 2 separate proofs. We're going to prove number 1, continue on our proof to do number 2. All right, so this is not 2 separate proofs. All right, let's talk. We got to prove BF parallel to CE. BF parallel to CE. Look at those 2 line segments right now. And just like we did in this unit, I need you to find a pair of angles that are going to need to be congruent for those lines to be parallel. So everyone look on BF and CE. Find 2 angles that are on BF and CE and share the same transversal. And we'll choose to have those angles congruent. Look at it, think about it before I call on somebody here. What 2 angles are on BF and CE with the same transversal that we'll need to prove congruent first? We'll need to prove congruent first. One has to be on BF, the other has to be on CE, and both of them have to share the same transversal. What do you got? Got a pair of angles for me? 8?
BFE and CED.
I like it. Now, let me make a quick comment before we do that. BFE and CED. Did anybody pick BFA with CEF, the ones next to them? You could do those as well. All right. So how do I get these congruent? Well, most of you already have what at those angles on your diagram? What do you already have at these angles put on your diagram already? You should already have right angle symbols there, right? BFE, you should have a right angle symbol, and CED. And from last unit, what do you know about 2 angles that are right angles? They're equal, but that's not going to be step 2. That these are equal because they're right angles. Anybody remember what I need to tell you first? It's on your diagram, but not in your proof yet. What do I still need to tell you before I tell you the right angles are congruent?
They are right angles.
Spence?
They are right angles.
Darn right. So I need to tell you angle BFE and angle CED are right angles. Reason? Anybody remember that one? I'll make you dig deep. 2. Any idea? Remember that reason?
Perpendicular lines
Keep going.
imply right angles.
You could do that, yeah. Imply and perpendicular. I like form instead, but you can write implies. Both totally acceptable. Good work. Now, right after that, you can tell me congruent. It's a 2-step process all year long. All year long. Tell me they're right angles, then tell me they're congruent. And then this was up on the board. All right angles congruent. Good job, guys. Great work. Now you can tell me the lines are parallel. What's going to be our reason here? What type of angles did Sophia just give us there? I know they're right angles, but as far as parallel lines go, what type of angles are those? 13, what type of angles are those?
Same side.
Okay, ready? Here's how you can tell, Charlie. Are they inside?
Oh, sorry. Mine looked different. They're corresponding.
Yes, thank you. Yep. So corresponding.
My right angle sign was on.
We're good. We're good. I'm not busting your chops yet. All right, you're fine. Corresponding angles, congruent, imply parallel lines. You made you found your mistake before I even said a word. So we're good. We're good. All right. 2 now. How do I get those angles congruent? PFB and QCE. Let's see where those angles are here, kids. PFB and QCE. Anybody notice anything? Where those angles are? Notice anything? This angle's on BF. This angle's on. Didn't we just prove those parallel? And what about the other parts of the angle? They're on. Same one? So you're telling me they're on the parallel lines and they have the same transversal. They should have a special relationship then. What type of angles are those? Take a look. Take a look. Look where they're inside, outside, same side of the transversal, alternate sides. Let's talk. 10. Are they inside or outside my parallel lines? Outside. Are they on the same side or alternate sides of my transversal? So what type of angles are they? Put them together. Should they be congruent or supplementary? We're done. We just want it. They're already alternate exterior, and since the lines are parallel, we know they're congruent. So this is just going to be one extra step to prove that. Angle PFB congruent to angle QCE. How would I write this last reason now? Now that we know what type of angles they are. 4, help me out. What type? How can I write this?
Parallel lines.
Good way to start it out. Go ahead.
Imply, alternate exterior angles are good.
Good job. Looks like I got a special group here this year, huh? Getting after it. Alrighty, I'm going to let you go. There's compasses and straight edges up here if you want to practice the constructions. You know both are going to be on there tomorrow. It's up to you. You can grab a textbook. Open up your Chromebooks, though, so you know the work's right. Okay, open up the answer key, please. Open up the answer key. Let's go. At least 1 or 2 Chromebooks opened in every group so you can see the answer keys. Let's get moving. 20 minutes to keep going.